Today I am giving you a brief overview of what is kidney transplants. Now, as you all know, kidney transplant is a major surgery, and Sagar Hospitals was one of the earliest center especially in Bangalore South to carry out kidney transplant. We were the first in Bangalore South to start doing kidney transplants. Now, kidney transplant is a surgical procedure wherein we have to transplant an organ from a healthy person to this patient who is suffering from what is called as end-stage kidney failure. The problem of end-stage kidney failure in our country is horrendous. We are I call it as a rule of 12. We have a population of 120 odd crores in the country. More than 12 crores suffer from some sort of kidney ailment or something. 1.2 crores will require some sort of treatment. 12 lakhs will probably require what is called as kidney replacement therapy. That is, patients they've reached such a stage they cannot do except dialysis or transplantation. Now, why transplantation when there is dialysis? Dialysis is a procedure wherein we have to remove the impurities from the blood and ensure that the patient can stay without for the next few days. Now, it can be various types of dialysis, hemodialysis, peritoneal dialysis. It's all a pain because patient has to come to the hospital, get dialyzed, or can do home dialysis but with lot of equipment around. As an alternative, we have what is called as kidney transplant, wherein there are situations where we can take, now God thankfully has given 2 kidneys. So, anybody can donate, a normal person can donate one of the kidneys to such a person who requires an organ. Now, kidney transplant, the organ is removed from the donor, healthy donor, and healthy means they should not be suffering not only from any kidney diseases, because we do not want the healthy donor to become a patient later on, but they should not be suffering from other illnesses like hypertension, diabetes and so many other illnesses. So, we investigate the donor thoroughly and then only consider them for transplants. We have today what is called as the Indian Organ Transplantation Act, which has, once upon a time, there were a lot of third party transplants being done and a lot of organ trafficking going on. Now, that has been totally banned by the government of India, and we have what is called as the Indian Society of Organ Transplantation Act, and it has gone various changes over the years ever since 1996. Now, to date, we have a Transplant Act wherein the father, mother, brother, sister, grandparent, grandchild, these are considered by law as near relative. These are the near relatives. These are the blood relations. These people can donate the organs to the patient. Also, they have allowed the spouse to donate. The spouse may be legally related but not medically related. So, the spouse can donate the organ also to the partner. So, these are the various donors that have been allowed by the government. Initially, they had only allowed only father, mother, brother, sister, but now they have opened the window to make it a little larger, called as grandparents, grandchildren. In the next couple of years, properly documented cases of first cousins also will probably be allowed. The next portion, because there is acute shortage of organs, obviously not all will have relatives, and in today being a nuclear family, you may not have enough donors in the family. Then we have to consider what is called as a cadaveric transplant, that is from a cadaver, a dead body. But dead body means essentially what is called as a beating heart brain dead donor, wherein the brain activity has stopped functioning, but the heart and the lungs are working still. The lungs are working already, most of these patients will be on a ventilator, but the heart is beating. So, these patients could be considered for transplantation, and today we can take multiple organs, not just only the kidneys. 2 kidneys, the pancreas, the intestines, the lungs, the heart and the liver. So, these are the various organs that are considered for transplantation. And there is one more donor cardiac death, that is the heart has stopped beating. Within half an hour, if we get a consent, we can immediately rush remove the heart, remove the other organs and consider them for transplants. So today we have a registry in Bangalore wherein anybody can register themselves either as a donor, and most of our patients are registered as recipients. It's a complex formula, very sensibly done, wherein you get points for every transplant. Today you may be on top, tomorrow you may be at the bottom. In general, age is taken into consideration. Other times you've got a call but you've not got it because of various other reasons. So all these criteria are put into consideration, and then patients are taken up for cadaveric transplant. We have a third variety, what is called as paired organ donor transplant, and the extension of it is what is called as a domino transplant. Now paired organ, the government has allowed this. Basically, nobody can donate to somebody who is not related, but the government has allowed this. If there are two patients, one patient, his family members are willing to donate, but for medical reasons they cannot be considered. And there is a second patient, patient B, who is also in a similar situation where his family members for medical reasons cannot donate. But that donor, patient B's donor, can possibly be considered to patient A if the reports are normal, and the same vice versa. So this is called as a paired kidney transplant. These are not necessarily related, but because the two families are willing to consider such donation, so these can be considered as transplant. And a further extension is what is called as a domino transplant. Here there will be multiple pairs, 6 pairs, 8 pairs, 10 pairs. The largest number of 10 pairs was done in Bombay about 3 years back, wherein 10 patients were considered simultaneous transplant in different hospitals. And the logistics of arranging such a transplant are horrendous, and you need a good computer and somebody who can sit with the computer and decide. And all these transplants, especially the paired and the domino transplant, have to start at the same time. We cannot have a situation where suddenly one person decides to back out, then the whole program fails. So all the transplants after the proper workup has to start at the correct time. If it is 8 o'clock morning, all the 10 hospitals or the 6 hospitals or in paired transplants, all the transplants have to start at the same time, because once the incision is taken, there is no backing out. So this is a good example of how we can consider transplantation. As science progresses, now you must have recently heard of what is called as bionic kidney or transgenic kidneys, wherein we have a porcine, that is special developed pigs in the animal labs, wherein they have removed the antigenic structure, and these people can be these organs can be considered for transplantation. In this case, it was a case of a patient who was actually very sick, and that was done. It was successful, but the patient died for some other reason because he had multi-organ failure. But the kidneys worked till the end. So this is also a good method. Probably in the future we could have a situation where this could become the norm. So as far as kidney transplant is concerned, it's an acute problem. Everybody needs it, and I sincerely urge everybody, if they want to believe in the maxim, don't bury or burn kidneys, donate them. So this is my request to all of you all. You can have a donor card made, you can write it in your will, you can tell your family members. If and when you want to donate, you can easily donate.